been a long time, Cam. You must be getting a lot of money, man, elsewhere. Yes, sir. When I first seen it, I said, damn, they stole my whole damn idea. You understand? Because I was talking to the producers and before I talked to the executive director and the producers knew I was telling them what I was bringing to the table because I was trying to get a deal for me, Kirk, and Tim all together, like a package deal. I wanted to try to get like 50,000 for each one of us. You know what I'm saying? So I told them what we was bringing to the table, who was going to tell the story, how they was going to tell their story. You know, I didn't know exactly what they were going to say, but I knew Tim grew up with Puff, so he can get the childhood thing. So I'm going and telling them the whole angle in which I would like for this to go. You know what I'm saying? What we was bringing to the table. I didn't know how they was going to do it, but I was saying, this is what we're going to bring to the table. Tim could start off with the childhood part of it because they grew up together. That's Tim Dog, Tim Patterson. Also, you know, he was the one who was working at Uptown. He was a executive over there of A&R and all that other stuff. He went to Island Records. He used to work with over there at Arista, the whole 9 yards. Tim is the one who had the Lost Boys. If you remember the Lost Boys, you know what I'm saying? Tim was the manager of them. That was his group and everything like that. So Tim had a lot of inside and a lot of stuff to do with Puff. I had a lot of other people I could have brought to the table too. Eddie F, who taught Puff how to work the board and everything like that. Just Eddie F, Heavy D, and the boys DJ. I was gonna try to get Eddie and some other people like that, but it fell through because the lady was telling me what somebody else didn't give me or what somebody else didn't pay me, and she was being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I thought she was a white lady. I'm finding out she a sister. So, you know, I could see why she was acting that kind of way. But anyway, she still tried to get me by telling Kirk for me to come aboard and all. I wasn't coming. I spoke to 50 for like 45 minutes before before Kirk and even Tim got involved in it. And me and him was, you know, cool with what was going on. He said, yo, they wasn't gonna spare no expense. He wanted the story to be told right, the whole 9 yards. So long story short is that as far as the documentary is concerned, it was just a lot of stories that I had already told. You know, if you go throughout the history, what I was talking about, the City College, I was there at City College. So why wouldn't I be there to talk about City College? You understand what I'm saying? I was right there in the midst of it. You know what I'm saying? I was the one who opened the door for the kids. You know, they fell right at my feet. You know what I'm saying? Some of them lied, some of them survived. I was there. You could see me in one of the films in the back, my back, while I'm pushing down on one of the kids' chests. 17-year-old boy that died, one of my friend's little brother. You understand? So it was crazy. A lot of stories they should have told that they didn't tell. You understand? They showed pictures of different people that was no longer, but they was instrumental in the Bad Boy. They couldn't even tell the real Bad Boy story, how Puff and them got their money, got started and stayed in the game before Clyde Davis. You understand what I'm saying? Because they didn't have the pictures, they didn't have the person to deliver the story. You know what I'm saying? Bad Boy got their start with Corey Jacobs. Corey Jacobs, the dude you see next to Puff before he went to jail the whole 9 yards. Corey Jacobs went to jail for drug distribution and transporting narcotics, and he got 9, 16 to life sentences. You know what I'm saying? So he was pardoned by Obama. His money and Wolf money is the money that started Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? To keep Big, you know, when he let Big go, when Andre Harrell them let Big them go, and Craig Mackner, Puff had to get money to keep them there. You understand what I'm saying? Before he can go make the deal with Clyde Davis. So what he do? He take their money to piece Big them off for some money before he makes his deal. You understand what I'm saying? So they couldn't even tell that story. That's a good story. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a lot of stories. There's a lot of things they left out. And it is what it is. But, you know, everybody trying to say 50, 50, 50, 50, you know, and they don't understand. They already had the producers. You know, 50 ain't make no shots as far as he ain't holding no camera. He ain't writing no script. They already had plenty of producers to put this together. They just needed to sell it. And who's the best salesman of them all? 50 Cent. You understand? If you see any kind of documentary, any kind of movies that's out there in our culture, if 50 behind it, they gonna buy it. And that's what it was. Nah. You know, I think that he wouldn't turn it down, because if you don't like somebody and somebody is now your enemy, and people going to give you a certain percent in money to do something to get at him, why wouldn't he? You know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't? You understand? A lot of people are trying to make it to be something different, but if they got a product and they trying to sell it, and why wouldn't I get behind it if I ain't got to put no money up? You understand? Because I don't believe Fit put a dime into that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too many executive producers behind it. And executive producers are people who find the cash and put the money up for the stuff to get done. So now they probably gave him a percentage to sell it. And he did a hell of a job in selling it. Yeah. Well, see, the thing about it is that people are out their rabbit ass mind, and they gonna sit up here and they gonna say some stuff like, yo, they try to make it up like, it's because of a girl, it's because of a woman. A man that can have any woman in the damn world, you understand, go any parts of the world, find beautiful women all over the world, that's willing to do whatever he wants to. I'ma be mad because this dude got this one? Nah, it's bigger and it's more than that. They don't want to say it. A lot of these cats out here don't want to tell the truth behind shit. You understand? When 50 was out here, you know, trying to get into, well, he was writing for most of Puff stuff. He was writing for artists. He was writing for different people. LL, Puff, whatever he can get money at, you know what I'm saying, to do some writing and stuff like that. Jam Master Jay had him writing shit, something like that. So Fifth was writing. Then when he did How to Rob the Industry cat joint, he's supposed to be the next one to come out of New York. You understand what I'm saying? He gets in this beef, you know what I'm saying, with Murder Inc., Ja, Irv Gotti, Supreme them. They try to eliminate him. Then Puff and the other people put a tag on him where it's that, yo, don't let him make no money. Don't sign him. You ain't gonna have none but problems. They put a bad tag on him. You understand? He gotta go to the West Coast and with Dre and Eminem to get his deal. You understand what I'm saying? So they put this tag on him to stop him from eating his craft. You understand? They try to kill him, you understand, because they got a problem with him. And then you supposed to have some love, so people who try to take you out of here, try to stop you from eating and everything like that. Diddy was a part of that too. He was a part of that because he was telling the executives and people, don't mess with him. Just picture this, bro. He knew he could write. He knew 50 had talent. You understand? Why 50 ain't get a deal in New York City? They blackballed him. Right. But hold up, it ain't only Irv Gotti, because Puff had a voice just as much, or probably more than Irv. If Puff would have said, yo, I'm gonna sign this kid, who's gonna stop him? Why he didn't sign him? He wrote some of his best lyrics. You understand? Let's get it. You know what I mean? So the whole thing about it is, man, and now these dudes out here want to portray like I supposed to love my enemy. Man, I don't turn the cheek, all that shit like that, no Diddy. I don't turn the cheek, I don't fuck around like that. But the whole thing about it is, if in fact somebody gonna pay me to get at my enemy, and I'm gonna get a piece of that PC, I'm with it too. I don't believe that, man. I heard the same thing, but Cam, you think that's true? It's it's promotion. It's promotion. It's promotion. I believe it's promotion. I don't think that, because you got to realize if he did do it and it could be taken in a certain kind of way, like a lot of people saying, yo, Puff is drinking, Puff is using drugs and stuff behind bars. He's in the drug treatment program. If he get caught doing any of the things that you've heard him doing and they saying him doing, they're gonna kick his ass out of there and put him in regular population. You understand? You have to stay clean in those type of places. They don't play those games. If he come up dirty or he's been seen doing any of that, they don't kick him out and put him in regular population. Bro, let me tell you something, man. And it depends on what time you leave or what's the situation. Like everybody trying to say the same shit about me. I saw him drug bottles. I saw him do this. I saw him do that. Puff had 6 officers that was either New York State Corrections or NYPD other than me working for him. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't believe Puff did anything around those officers either. You understand? He had regular other bodyguards too that was from the street. He may have done something around them. But you know what I'm saying? Criminals do crimes around criminals. There's nobody who's gonna risk their job and their pension for watching him beat a girl, watching him drug a girl, or do any of the things that they try to say that you see. I didn't see him do none of that. So with Marlon Wayne, if he say he didn't see it, he didn't see it. Maybe he left early. Maybe he wasn't around it. Maybe Puff didn't trust him enough to do some shit around him like that. Well, you got to name names and say, and you got to name names, bro. You just can't say all the other celebrities. You understand? There was probably a lot of celebrities that saw it. It's probably a lot of stuff. Look at Usher. What Usher say? I seen some things I shouldn't have been seeing at that age. What does that tell you? That he's seen some things, he was around some things when he was young that he shouldn't have been at a Diddy party. So that's going to show you that there's certain things that are happening that's going on that here it is, this kid was saying he shouldn't even seen it and been around it himself. So all the other celebrities who saw it and they stand quiet about it, ain't that in our culture? No snitching. Yeah. But see, you got, well, you got to understand. Well, it depends on what it depends on what your avenue is, Cam. You know what I'm saying? If you are a bodyguard and you paid the bodyguard the area, the place, the stuff like that, and that's just your job that you have, listen, are you going to care? Yeah, you're going to care to a certain extent if it involves you. People don't understand this. If you see somebody raping somebody, you understand, and you don't do anything about it, you raped that girl too. Did you know that? Did you know that's the law? That's the law, brother. You cannot witness a rape and not say nothing or do nothing. If a man is raping a girl and you witness her doing that, you're just as much as guilty as he is. That's the law. You understand what I'm saying? So if a lot of these people who are working for him and stuff like that, and they see something and don't say nothing, yeah, they just as guilty as he is. They just as guilty as he is. See, I was never that type of dude. Listen to me. My job is to stop the shit from coming from Puff. You understand? If there's some dudes about to beef with him, before he even get to him, I'm going to stop it. That's my job. You understand? If Puff is doing something that's going to cause him to get himself in trouble and me in trouble, I got to stop him. That's my job. Not only as his bodyguard, as a law enforcement officer, as somebody that's a father, as somebody that's a big brother, big uncle and everything like that. That's my job to do that. So it is what it is, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying? And Kirk Burrows, the president of Bad Boy, he knew Puff real well, real well, real well. So he made those accusations, and then you could see it too. You could see like every girl that Pop talked to, Sally Richardson, you know what I'm saying? Diddy got with her. Sarah Chapman, Diddy got with her. You understand? You know, the list goes on and on and on. You understand? If he seen Pac with him, he wanted him. If he saw Pac wear it, he wanted to have it. You understand? Pac beat him out of the part for Bishop and Juice. You understand? Puff wanted that part too. He auditioned for that part too. You understand? People may not tell y'all that, but he auditioned for that part too. So, you know, he wanted, and then you got to see, like, you could just go tell that the drugs had his mind so messed up, whereas that he started thinking he was Tupac. For instance, did you see that Grammy speech he did? Hey, listen to the verbiage in there. He's saying the same stuff Pac was saying. The same. If people go back, he's saying the same stuff with Pac. Why? Why? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He did have he disliked Pac, but he also loved him in certain things. It's a strange, weird. It's a strange, weird. I guess relationship that they had, bro. Y'all thought it was an East Coast West Coast war. One day we was in behind a house of blues. You hear me? We was driving through that. We had a reporter in the car. He was either from Billboard or he was from what's that other big magazine? Rolling Stones. It may have been Rolling Stones. He's in the car with me. Riz is on the driver's side. Riz is on the passenger side in the back. The reporter's in the middle. I'm on the driver's side in the back. You got Kenny driving, Puff is in the front. We see Suge and Tupac, right? Pac is in a white Rolls Royce convertible. Suge is in a red Rolls Royce convertible. It's about a House of Blues. Behind the House of Blues, it was about in the afternoon. It wasn't even late at night or nothing like that. So Puff rolled up to Pac. We rolled up to Pac, and Puff said, "Yo, what up, Pac?" Pac looked at that like that and turned his head and got back on his phone. My man Riz said, "Speak to Suge. Suge is the boss. Speak to Suge." Puff we roll up to Suge car. Yo, what up, Suge? Nothing much. What's happening? He said, "Yo, man, we got any problems? You know if we got any problems out here?" Suge said, "I don't know no problems y'all got out here." You understand what I'm saying? He said, "We good?" She said, "Yeah, I guess y'all good." You know what I'm saying? You good? They talking like that. We drive off. So, did they talk? Yeah, they talk. I seen Pac talk to Puff after that Quad Studio thing. We was in the Roxy. Pac arm was in a sling. Pac arm was in a sling or something like that. A dude lit a cigarette for Pac. We was in the Roxy downtown. Him and Puff was talking like they was talking. So it's a crazy dynamics, but it is what it is, bro. Those guys are weird, bro, to me. Sarah Chapman. Yeah, but see what happens is that, Sarah was with Corey, right? Then she got with Corey Jacobs, the dude who put up the money for Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? Sarah was with him. I got a picture with Corey and Pac on stage at the same time with each other before he got locked up. You understand what I'm saying? So now, then she gets with Pac. Then she goes back with Diddy. But she was Kim Porter's best friend. Puff first baby mama, second baby mama. They were best friends. Well, anytime he talked about Pac, he was like, Pac is bugging. It was nothing like no nothing where he said that, you know, he putting his life, he put Pac life in danger, nothing like that. He never said anything about doing anything around there. But he was just saying like, yo, that cat be bugging. You know what I'm saying? Like on some shit like that. You know, like, and Big said the same thing, that they didn't know why Pac was bugging like he was bugging. You know what I'm saying? Acting the way in which he was acting. And that's it. But it was nothing whereas that you could say like, yo, I'm gonna do this to dude, I'm gonna do that to dude. It was always other people that was around that would say something like that, you know, like my mans and them could do this, my mans and them could do that, you know, and I never heard Puff, you know, sanction any of that shit like that. He ain't do it around me. Shit, I liked it. Shit was fire. You know what I'm saying? All that shit that Puff talking about, we used to go we'll turn over turntables, somebody play. All that shit is, man, he making that shit up. I was never with him in the club or nothing like that, and they turned the turntables off or do some shit like that. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? You know, Big said something to me. He said, the next person to say anything or say my name on shit, I'ma shit on them. And I think in the documentary they was trying to say that Big didn't want to go after Tupac or he wanted to or some shit like that. You understand? Big told me that like it was Puff that was stopping him from going at Pac them and Death Row them like that. Cause you gotta realize Big was that type of rapper that he could get at somebody, and I think Puff was trying to tell him, don't go that route. You understand what I'm saying? But still putting out songs like Who Shot Ya in the intro, but telling Big not to go at nobody, which was crazy. Hmm. And that's, well, listen to me, man. Both of them had their different styles. You understand? But I don't think Pac could have with Big on the making the stories. Pac was great. Pac got some good shit. But I just think it would have been if it went back and forth, it would have been something to see. But I think that, you know, I'm gonna give it to Big on that one. I'm gonna give it to Big on that. Pac was great. You cannot argue about the skill level and the genius that Pac had, but it's something about Big and his subliminal messages and the way he's a lyricist that I think he probably would have got Pac. Yeah. Ain't that ain't that more than half the millionaires in this world? Ain't that more than half the people who got it? Yo, listen to me, bro. You save your money will save you. And this guy just thought that he could do certain things to either buy his way out of that if he had to. And he has done that on numerous of times, buying his way out of some things. But then again, when his people need money who are around him and work for him, he ain't got it for him. So, it's funny. Bro, that shit was made up. That shit was made up before um, he even went to trial, man. Come on, bro. And I've said this 1,000 times to probably 1,001 people. Your main two charges that you talk about in court, you don't even charge him with? Come on, Cam. The gun charge. They had, right, the drug charges. Those baby oils had stuff in it. It even came out in the documentary, and one of the doctors them said what had them. Nobody carries that many and wrapped up in certain things. Come on, bro. If you was using baby oil, you ain't got to carry it with you. Yo, run to Walgreens, give me 10 cases of baby oil. Get all the baby oil at Walgreens. That baby oil had some kind of chemical in it that helped you seduce the person and make them feel free or something like that. It was some. They were saying it was some kind of drug that was in that baby oil. Not only that, he ain't get charged with the physical drugs that they could see, the pink cocaine, all this other shit. So with the feds and me working around them and working with them, and what I mean working with them, me being a parole officer, you know what I'm saying, dealing in federal cases and stuff like that, they didn't charge him because, one, brother, I swear, it was a deal made way before they got to court. Because that's in New York City, that was gonna give you 10 years. You get 5 to 10 years automatically. If you beat it in feds, it's 10 years. My man, didn't Roger Barnes make some kind of suggestion that he was still beating Kim? Right, but I'm just saying, but that don't stop him from putting his hands on her because he got a kid by. That don't stop him from putting his hands on her because he got a kid by. Because he has shown that he put hands on all his baby mamas. Just say that without even saying any names. All his baby mamas could get it. Right, right. So it still happens. Now, does it go to the level whereas that she goes to sue him? Maybe not. Maybe not. Right. But then as soon as she leave him, she have a baby the next year or something. Hey, well, I guess Or he probably gave her a couple of them, she got rid of them. Yeah. Right. But man, listen to me, man. You got Lil Rob did a whole album, right? He tried to give him $29,000. $29,000 for doing a whole album. You understand? You got Dawn coming to him asking him for $5,000. A person that he's asking her to do a favor for him and writing a letter to the prosecutors and the whole 9 yards to come into his defense. If you really look at it, bro, he's an individual that don't care nothing about himself. So he think he can get over, and you supposed to be happy to be around Diddy. You understand? Just to be in his presence. So now when the videographer, I think one went away for a couple of days and somebody else took over, and he didn't want to pay those person, they just kept that to themselves. I'm gonna sell this to somebody because somebody might want to see it one day. Or I'm gonna sell it back to him. Yep. You gotta pay to play. No. No, man. Do you think Tim Dog had a grudge against him? Well, I don't think I don't think do you think Chop had a grudge against him? No, I don't think nah, bruh. Yeah, but listen here, bruh. Because somebody want to tell a story, that don't mean they got a grudge against them or they hate them. It's just they story and some events and things that happen with this person. That don't mean they got a grudge against them. They dislike them. They just telling their story. I don't think Chopper was Chopper. I've seen him do several interviews. He never seemed like that he disliked or hated Diddy, nothing like that. He just telling his story, shit that he saw. That's what I get from it. Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm not saying they, but see, you're saying disliking somebody because they owe you money and that you got a grudge against somebody for no reason. See, when you told the story, it made it seem like, well, they ain't got no reason really to have a grudge against Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? And they dislike him because of the business he done with him. Excuse me. Yeah. Listen here, man. They can go back and forth with each other, man. And I believe in the long run, 50 gonna win. It's a difference from a made man and a man that's made. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference from a made man than a man that's made. You know what I'm saying? 50 is a made man. You know what I'm saying? He went through all the steps and all the levels to get into the position he is right now. Mm-hmm. Well, if they cut and paste that part, and 50 got enough lawyers, he got enough money that he can handle that situation. But like you just said, he's not the only one doing it. You know, there's a lot of content creators out here, you know, trying to run that whole thing down and not telling the truth. Sarah Chapman was the girl that was in the room, her and her girlfriend. You understand? So if people are doing that shit and then trying to make it seem like that it wasn't no girls in there, and if they can sue them, I guess, you know, that's between the legal department and they lawyers in them. You know, they wrong for doing that, bro. From day one, when I first told the story, I said the girls was in there. You understand? I didn't come back and say, oh, by the way, there was girls. No, I told the story and I said there was girls up in there. Now, what they was doing up in there, I don't know. But Ja told us. Right. Well, if he gonna go to war, he want to go to war with all of them. Line them up. I think 50 is ready. 50 want all the smoke. And if he want all the smoke, man, listen to me. He got to be prepared. And I don't think 50 not doing this and not being prepared. He don't seem like the guy that's not preparing for what he's doing. Like he just gonna go and jump out the window. Nah. I believe that he's naming names. And he's letting people know anybody can get it. So she can't do nothing with that. That's a possibility. But then you got to look at it like this. 50 got money too. And she might hate him and stuff like that, but it's something about if he try to equal what somebody else do, she may go with them. She ain't gonna go against him. That's her son's father. Yeah. Everybody's scared like what? And it's one documentary. He makes one documentary and everybody's shook. Everybody's going crazy because he made one documentary. Well, he made movies, but he made this one documentary. Why? Because the prince is arrested now. The Prince of Darkness, Diddy, is arrested now. Get out of here, man. I don't think 50 worrying about none of that. I think that when Diddy was saying some things and they could have probably got in trouble. You know what I mean? He was messing with their money because, that ain't the only money they gonna get. You know what I'm saying? But he's messing with their money. You know what I'm saying? It's a clause for patient and doctors. The patient can't get involved into the doctor situation. So we'll see, bro. We'll see. On who behalf? Mhm. And that's crazy, bro. Because I know that I heard in the news, excuse me, I heard in the news that he was taking money from Cassie parents and they had to take out some kind of loan and everything like that to do this thing with Diddy, and then he ended up not even wanting the money, or did he take the money? I'm not sure if he took the money or he didn't take the money, but that came out in the trial when her mother came to trial, that she had to take a loan out to get to him for not to show those pictures of Cassie around the industry, to give them all to her. And I think that if I'm hearing it straight, that he took the money, but he didn't take the money, but she ended up getting the pictures anyway. Yes, he was. Yo, no Diddy. Yo, man, when I heard Lil Rod said that, man, I felt bad for him because that's not really even funny, but it's crazy how he wanted to be a producer so bad that he was willing to give up his manhood for it. That he was willing to give up his manhood for it. It's crazy. You're right. You're right. Well, the thing about it is man, And I said this 1,000 times. Facts change feelings. Feelings don't change your facts. And to hear some of the stories that's going down now, you be like, yo, you can't do nothing but believe it now after what came out in the trial. But if you would have heard these stories back then, you wouldn't have believed it because he was a totally different person back then. You know, in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. But you know, he got into that drug stuff. That drug would change your whole persona. And that's what it did. Changed who he was. Bruh, if Diddy was given a God complex, it goes to prove that don't get hooked on drugs. That the drugs had took over him and he was not the same person. But in his mind, he's the same person that he was. The drugs can change you, bro, and that's what it did to him. A simple audition when he got cut by Kim Porter in his wrist and got hooked on those opiates. Yep. Yeah, no doubt. But after the drugs wear out, they wake up either behind bars or somebody's burying them for the rest of somebody's burying them. Who I think Diddy's biggest victim is? The mothers. Big's mama. Wolf's mother. The people that lost their sons. They could never get that back. Especially with those are the two people that changed his life. Put him on that pedestal to be a great producer. So I believe the mothers in them that lost their sons are the biggest victims of it all. Yep. Now I wasn't surprised, because they said that when Big died, he built the estate. He took it out of Big's his budget. You understand what I'm saying? So I wonder who got the life insurance policy. It was crazy. Everybody want to say that 50 Cent did the whole documentary. He was responsible for doing the whole documentary, what goes in there and what goes out of there. Now, I don't believe that. And I don't believe that he's responsible for everything that goes in there. I don't believe he's responsible for everything that goes out of there. Guys want to say that he's snitching, you know what I'm saying, because he's telling his truth about what went down and what he saw or what he heard or whatever like that. I don't know how to love my enemy. And if I gotta put out the truth about something that he was doing and is wrong, and that was wrong, I don't have no problem with that, 50. Not a problem at all. Keep doing it. Maybe enough men come out and speak out on some bull stuff. You know what I mean? I think they dropped it already. I don't think they ain't gonna have a chance because before you put something out like that, they're gonna dot their I's and cross their T's. They're gonna make sure everything is in place. And if Puff had friends over there at Netflix, if it haven't came down, but it's showing yet. If it haven't came down yet, they ain't got a leg to stand on. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Listen, um, a lot of people want to, come at me, and everybody want to find fault in 50, find fault in me, find fault in anybody who's speaking out against the evil shit that's been going on. But what about find fault from the person who did it? Find fault for the person who starved their artist. Find fault for the person who led an artist out there to lead to his death. Find fault in a person who set up the atmosphere for one of the greatest artists in hip hop to lose his life. You know what I'm saying? Find fault in a person that allegedly had a person sore in the middle of the night and they didn't want to be sore. Find fault in this individual who did all this crazy shit to people instead of find fault in the people who's talking about it and letting you know about it. I used to really believe they really wanted to be in the Diddy party so bad. Or done it. Yes, sir. Appreciate you too, man. Yeah. I seen yours in the background too. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Be good, brother. Peace.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.